Hey people, Indra here, 3v3 Faction War. This is Angstrom Heights and Tyranids versus the Ordo Malleus. For the blue Tyranid team, Zulman is a Hive Tyrant, a durable hero. Walks through objects, cannot be suppressed with powerful offense, disruption and support. Begins in melee with a basic synapse. I shall call you Javier. Alongside, Mendicant bias with a Lictor Alpha, a melee specialist, infiltrate and disrupt, some powerful offense, and a bit of support. Rounding off the team is Unununium with a Ravener Alpha, a tunneling hero with great mobility, powerful offense, and a bit of support. Begins with a ranged weapon. There was the first tunnel next to the power. Red Ordo Malleus team Panther is a brother captain, a durable hero, walking through objects, cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and support, fighting in melee. A nifty gold kind of custodes scheme here. Alongside, Red Baron of Germany is a Daemonhunter, a melee spellcaster, a strong support and control. Begins with an energy regeneration aura. And rounding off the teams, Sergeant Smith as an Eversor assassin, a risk-reward melee brawler that explodes on death. Got something in his sight. It's a bunch of Hormagaunts led by a Hive Tyrant. We have triple Hormagaunts from Zulman, double Hormagaunts from Mendicant bias, Unununium with the double Termagants. Eversor getting stuck in, Strike Squad getting stuck in, supported by the double Stormtroopers there. Eversor pops the Psychon, 30% more damage and damage resistance, but he loses health when he activates it. Good specials from the Strike Squad, they're doing well. But there's also a decent special there from Javier the Hive Tyrant. Can the Strike Squad get away without dropping a model? They can. Eversor still in play. Takes out another model. Got a decent chunk of XP already. We do have one of the Hormagaunt broods there with the adrenal glands. Is it one of Zulman's? It is. Another one's getting it too. And still plenty of health for Javier to stomp around and scare some Stormtroopers. The Eversor is still going though. Now we have double adrenal gland Hormagaunts on him. Can they all get in there though? Not quite, but he is surrounded. And they do get rid of him. Meanwhile, back towards the northeast, Brother Captain taking a whole bunch of damage, able to get away from the double Termagants. They both have toxin sacks to slow him down as needed. The Daemonhunter of Red Baron getting stuck into some Hormagaunts now. Good special. And forces them off with Stormtrooper support now. Getting shot though, needs to be careful. And runs. Operatives in play for Red Baron. Operatives on the way for Panther. Sergeant Smith with Purgation to try and control all of these Hormagaunts. 493 to 442. Lictor Alpha off in retreat. I think he was pushing all the way through the mid. The Tyranids do have the central contested VP. There's a natural up in the east for the Tyranids, which has been retaken by the Ravener Alpha. Natural in the north for the Ordo Malleus, which was taken by these Hormagaunts. They took a bunch of damage though. Meanwhile, on the power, Incinerator Purgation doing their thing. Setting up the grenade beautifully there from those Stormtroopers. That instant grenade they have. And here comes the Eversor. Not sure where the Strike Squad are. Let's find out. They be capping. Eversor popping the Psychon again. There's the Sin Skin Body Glove for more health. And an improved Psychon doesn't take as much health off him no more. Warrior Brood on the field for Mendicant bias into Raveners. See how quickly you can ramp up when you have double Hormagaunts compared to triple Hormagaunts here. I mean, you get the early pressure from the triple Hormagaunts, but Mendicant very, very quickly able to get into those tier 1.5 power cost units. Trying to spread out and bash the power efficiently here. Gonna get a couple of gens, I think. It's a lot of fire also though, isn't it? They got 2 gens, and they get away okay. Strike Squad using their banishment there from the Tomes of Titan. Also gives them damage and health buffs of 10% passively, which is pretty good. Mid is now red for the Ordo Malleus, and they are crowding the Tyranids natural, getting onto the power too. Hunter's Blade looks like. No. Daemonhunter with the Emperor's Torch. I think it's a 30% damage resist, the Emperor's Torch. Pretty nice war gear. There it is. Lictor Alpha with the pheromones. I think he just wiped a Stormtrooper squad there. and shots coming in from a warrior brood. Red team kind of getting hammered here, actually, despite the Emperor's torch. Operatives retreating, dropping that flash grenade. Yeah, that was kind of rough. I don't think they lost. Oh, maybe. But we saw Red Baron lose those stormtroopers, but I don't think they. Yeah, the operatives barely got out, but they did get out. 441 to 413 on the VPs. Tyranids now flowing through the bottom, trying to get to this natural power here. Ravener brood on the way now for Unununium, and Zulman has a warrior brood of their own. These guys will provide a basic synapse, much like the Hive Tyrant does, of course. Back to the mid. Warrior brood on capping duty. These guys going for the central natural power here. 426 to 413. Sergeant Smith, dropped his strike squad, getting another strike squad on the way. That's a big loss for them. We'll see if we can spot their bodies at some point. I guess they got surrounded by Hormagaunts on retreat or something. Oh, there they are, look. Maybe they were trying to pressure the power and got caught. Crusaders up for the Red Baron with their fancy shields. These guys get increased combat effectiveness as they drop models. On the power with Stormtrooper support and Purgation support. There's the tier 2 for Unununium, the first one we've seen. Power bash through the mid for the Tyranids. They got all the gens and the node. Just didn't get a decap. But that is a lot of ranged DPS to deal with. Double Termagants upgraded the Ravener and the Warrior Brood with Barb Strangler. Yeah, they're struggling to deal with that because the Brother Captain's just being crippled and everything else gets suppressed. As long as you choose your targets intelligently, you should be able to deal with that fight pretty well with Unununium's build there. There's Emperor's Torch again, of course. Grenades going in. They seem to be missing. Crusaders getting stuck in. Daemonhunter got knocked back. Also, they did well. All the Tyranids been running. There was a lot of stuff in there. A lot of stuff. And Javier went down. There was 2 versus 1, basically. Eversor is down, though. 417 to 391. 1-to-1 cap. Pheromones allowing this stuff to reinforce. Also debuffing the nearby Ordo Malleus fellas. Reducing their damage. They seem to basically be ignoring the Crusaders, so they don't get those buffs from dropping models. Operatives just wiped there. Those were Red Barons. Sergeant Smith calling for the retreat. Maybe they tried to, and those operatives just weren't having any of it. And a flesh hook into a kill on the Daemonhunter. Oh, the Crusaders also wiped. Look at that. Just after I said they were being ignored. Red Baron had a really rough fight. Really rough. 417 to 372. They need to go tier 2 and try to rebuild. Try to hold, try to lean on their allies. Capillary Tower. Looks like Red Baron was maybe distracted by some real life stuff. Brother Captain with the Nemesis Force Halberd to slice through a bunch of Tyranids. If he can get into melee with them, of course, with the crippling poisons going on. Venom Brood up. Mostly for the ranged synapse at the moment, since there's no vehicles around. Lictor Alpha with adrenal glands of his own now. Tyranid is looking pretty strong. Don't see any other tier 2 units up. Maybe they'll try to just ride this into tier 3. Improved synapse for Hive Tyrant. And now, oh, some late rending talons. Usually you see these in tier 1 or you don't see them at all. It's a good banishment. Strat Squad are getting wrecked though. Somehow they didn't drop a model. That was amazing. Warrior Brood do drop a model. Look at the damage now that this Ravener Alpha's doing with Corrosive Devourer and Synapse Aura for damage. I can't believe those Strat Squad got away without dropping a model. Purifiers now in here. Power melee squad with a very long charge range and a decent chunk of hit points too. And they can help by using their psychic field to make sure the double termagants can't use their crippling poison. On the power in the south, well, southwest, are them Tyranids then, Adrenal Gland Warrior Brood now, with the melee synapse and a whole bunch of hit points for themselves. 1732 at level 1. Good bashing. It was some good bashing. Red Baron recovering with operatives and a Rhino. Those are the same operatives, aren't they? I think they are. Yeah, they're almost level 2. That was some energy bursting there. 392 to 343. Operatives sneaking around. I thought maybe they'd chuck an incendiary and then retreat off. But they did not dare to. Lictor Alpha with Corrosive Claws now. Slows you down and increases the damage you take when it hits you. It's pretty handy against tough Ordo Malleus units. Decent usage of the overcharge there. Ravener Brood Burrow Strike though, and they couldn't really hold against that. And there's that Pheromones up again with all the big debuffs. Eversor Assassin with the Eviscerator Axe. Sinskin Body Glove and Onslaught Injectors. He's ready to go. Oh, throws up the kill zone a little bit too quickly, I think. Has to leave it to continue fighting. That gives him massive bonuses when he's inside of it and also debuffs enemies in melee. But you can avoid the area as you saw there. Incredibly powerful though, if you can set it up right. Ordo Malleus is going to go down maybe. Oh no, it gets away. Flesh Hook got him actually. And he exploded of course. Psychic Scream would do good work here I think. Starting to get quite a few big 2v2 fights. 373 to 331. Get a power bash here to Tyranids maybe. Javier going on through and disrupting with the Rending Talon Seismic Roar. Ordo Malleus have got onto the blue team's natural. There's tier 3 for Zulman. They got a full gen bash. Can they get the node? Probably. Nope. They do not get the node. Getting their VP decap though. These guys are really going to pack a punch. They were barely able to get that incendiary grenade in. Those guys also retreat and they can break their retreats with the fallback plan. There it is. Gives them some health regen afterwards. Need to keep an eye on these guys. They're tricksy. Not sure how long they're going to be able to stay here though. They infiltrate and move away. Tyranids grabbed that wreck point somehow. 311 to 331. It's very even on the VPs. Here comes a Grey Knight Dreadnought for the Red Baron. Has that heavy bolter turret Rhino. Doing some really good anti-infantry damage and supporting these guys with the reinforcement. Good recovery from the Red Baron. 287 to 331. The full power bash. Genes to the Brood is up for Mendicant Bias, supported of course by melee synapse and the pheromones of the Lictor Alpha. 273 to 331. Rippers trying to get the node down. Go on, fellas. They got it. They did get it. It's a pretty good incendiary. Emperor's Torch going in. No, that's the Rift Tear from the Daemonhunter. Pheromone is in. Eversor's in there, I think. Yeah, he's in there. I did not see the kill zone. Did pop the Bio Meltdown though, which is pretty nasty for those Tyranids. Can't do that every fight though. 247 to 331. Ordo Malleus starting to creep back into this. They haven't teched up as quickly as I thought they would, the Tyranids. Zulman is in tier 3. What are they waiting for? Are they waiting for power? I thought maybe they were choosing to go for a Swarm Lord rather than a Carnifex. Swarm Lord would be great for Mendicant bias. He lost his Gene Stealers though. Those incendiaries have been annoying, haven't they? Especially when they're set up by the overcharged plasma. 229 to 331. Capillary Tower shoots up to get things moving. Dreadnought is threatening quite a lot here with that incinerator flamer thing he's got. Strike Squad trying to finish off Javier, and down he goes. Venom Brood turn to get some shots in. There's an Electroshock Grubs usage as well. Venom Brood is getting shot down. See those Synapse bombs going off. Ravenous Alpha trying to finish off the Dreadnought with its corrosive shots, I think. Almost got it. Now it's getting repairs. 220 to 331. Tyranno formation. Can it get the Dreadnought? Not sure if it's in the right spot. Not quite. It was perfectly placed to dodge them. There's some Emperor's Torch again. Carnifex is on the way for Zulman. Tier 3 for Mendicant bias. More rift tearing to slow things down. What is this? Just some Hormagaunts fleeing the Eversor assassin. It's level 5. So he's doing some work, that guy. Not a good spot to be in. Level 4 Purgation as well. Uh-oh. Knocked down. I think they're going to be alright. They got a little bit of support here. There's that kill zone. Kill zone and Cyclone makes him incredibly strong in that area. Nothing's been obliging him by staying in the area yet, though. Brother Captain level 4 with that halberd. Going for the VP. They're going to get shot up, though. Really badly. And then crippled. Nope, they need to run. Going to steal back the northeastern contested VP here. There we go. It's got Tyranid gens on it. Mendicant bias got another Gene Stealer Brood up. Just need to be careful of the Eversor's shenanigans, because he can really go mental with the Bio Meltdown and Hypermetabolism and Kill Zone and Cyclone all at once. 163 to 331. Decent VP lead now for Ordo Malleus. Tyranids really slowed down in tier 2. They seem to be trading power kind of evenly. Guess Ordo Malleus just did better with what they had in tier 2 a little bit. Dealt with the big melee blob of Mendicant bias thanks to the Eversor. What is this? That is shooting a capillary tower. Bash that power as well. Look at the map, it's looking very red. There's a triple for the Ordo Malleus. How long to Paladins, says Sergeant Smith. Not that long. They can drop them whenever they like, I think. Mendicant bias not happy with his teammates, it seems. There's that psychic field shutting down all of the effects there. No crippling poison is really painful. That psychic field is awesome. Here come Paladins, I imagine. Just to put the nail in here. I think they've done enough. They must have. Unless this Carnifex goes absolutely mental. It's got a Stranglethorn cannon. Here comes Javier. Level 4 now going for Crushing Claws. There's a Seismic Roar. Paladin's after him, only needs to run immediately. Triple Cap is still up. Paladins will smack down the Carnifex if they need to. Ordo Malleus have run through here. And they're going to take it. Here's Melter Bombs on the way. Not going to need it. It's GG. There's that kill zone. And there's the game. Ordo Malleus do take it. Conversion Beamer getting a shot at the end. Yeah, the melee blob did not pay off in the end. They had the halberd. They had the Eversor. I think it's just really risky going full melee against an Eversor. even with Tyranids, because that bio meltdown just basically wins him fights. So risky to stay in there and fight him when he's got it up. Level 3 Lictor Alpha, level 4 Ravener Alpha, level 4 Brother Captain, we had a level 4 Daemonhunter, and a level 6 Eversor, who did some good work. Never really saw the kill zone like get him in a big fight with it, but they seem to avoid it really reasonably well. But it's always a threat, and it's area denial as well. Had the Vortimer Razorback on the way. Red Baron was down to a single unit at some point, but somehow recovered. It was kind of weird that the Tyranids slowed down so much in Tier 2. Spent a lot of time bashing power, it seemed. Just couldn't quite get the control they needed. But there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Big thanks to these players for playing and then sending in a faction war. And I'll see you next time.